baby slash small person slash husband of the gosh, you hit PC culture. Guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Coins Age Media. I am Rodney Stewart, and Laurel and Hardy, absolutely brilliant. Love these guys. This is a short from 1927. It's a 20-minute short, silent comedy, and of course stars Stan Laurel, Oliver Hardy, along with Anita Garvin and Ed Brandenburg. I'm just going by the IMDb listing here on it. There's quite a few other well-known faces in this here that do pop up for other Laurel and Hardy films as well. This is a very funny one. I haven't actually seen this one before, and I've said it before in this series of reviews on Laurel and Hardy, going through the box set from start to finish. And you know, I've been a lifelong fan of Laurel and Hardy, but in saying that, for the longest time ever, the only time I've ever seen any of their films just was whatever was being aired on television, and it wasn't until I got my hands on the box set I actually got into seeing some of the older shorts, silent comedies and stuff. The majority of stuff I had seen before the box set was all the feature films and some of their more famous shorts like The Music Box and Bratz and that sort of thing. But Sailors Beware is actually very funny, and in saying that, the laughs aren't quite as thick as what you would hope for in a Laurel and Hardy film, but whenever the slapstick moments do start, it is actually brilliant. Basically in this movie, Chester Chase, an honest cab driver played by Stan Laurel, delivers Madame Ritz and her apparent child to a steamship, and she is played by Anita Garvin, of course, and the apparent child is actually her husband, who is, how do you say it in a PC way without offending everybody on the face of the planet, because these days you can't say, let's just say little person, just to be PC correct, because it's just at the point now where, yes, it is ridiculous what you can and you cannot say. Basically, he's a small person posing as a child, baby, toddler sort of thing, and their deal is that they're going to start scamming people on the ship, stealing jewellery, money, whatever they can get their hands on. When they get to the boat, of course, the purser of the boat is played by Oliver Hardy, and he's only interested in, you know, flirting with women, and you know, just any woman that comes along, like, he's all smooth and suave and, you know, really selling it. And if any men come along, he just doesn't have time for them, just shoos them off and goes back to chatting up the girls again. When Stanley delivers Madame Ritz to the boat, she gets out and she tells him to wait at the dock, she'll be straight back, but she's going to stiff him on the bill, and she actually goes to get on the ship. But before she leaves, she's smoking a cigarette in the back of the car, and she goes to flick it out the window. Doesn't happen, falls back into the taxi, and Stanley is made to move the taxi cab by a policeman because he's obstructing, you know, other traffic, trying to get people to the boat. And he drives over to the side of the dock and realizes the back of the car is actually on fire at this point because of the dropped cigarette, and while he is in the back trying to extinguish that, the guys loading the ship, they've already loaded a couple of cars on before him, and they just think that his taxi cab is another car for loading. So while he's in the back trying to extinguish the fire, these guys strap up the car, load it onto the ship, and of course by the time Stanley is finished with that, the ship has set sail and he is stranded on the boat, and yes, basically classed as a stowaway by the captain because he doesn't have a ticket. Of course he doesn't have a ticket. And the captain puts him to work underneath Oliver Hardy. This is whenever the slapstick really kicks off in the film, is Oliver trying to force Stanley to work. At the beginning, Stanley wants nothing to do with it, and does his best to get out of everything that he can. And yes, things just go from bad to worse for Stanley throughout the short. Whenever he's, there's, gosh, let me just look up this guy's name because it is killing me. He was in the last review I did, and for some reason his name has left me completely. Arthur Houseman. That's the name. Sorry about that, guys. Arthur Houseman is in here as a drunk once again, and Stanley is going about the boat sorting things out, and of course Houseman's walking about and he's drunk as usual, and he wanders into the wrong room, and there's a woman sort of half undressed. She screams, and the husband runs out of the bathroom of his cabin and chucks Houseman out. And out in the hallway, Stanley is coming, sees him falling through the door, and of course, trying to be helpful, helps him back onto his feet, opens the door, pushes him back in again, and of course he gets turfed out again by this angry husband. This happens a few times, and the last time Stanley actually enters the room with him, and the pair of them get chucked out. Different things happen. Stanley goes to the pool on the boat, and there's a very upper crust lady there that just looks at him like he's something that's on the bottom of her shoe, and she kind of gives him the look and turns away from him. And Stanley, being Stanley, pushes her into the pool, and the whole place just turns on him, and starts filling buckets full of water and chucking it at him. He runs out again, meets Oliver, and Stanley tells him, right, there's a good looking woman in the pool looking for you. So he sends Oliver in, and he just gets drenched from head to toe as soon as he walks through the door. It's the little things that get back and forth between Stan and Ollie in these movies. They're always trying to outdo each other, and no exception in this one. It moves on to Stanley meeting the husband posing as a baby, and he plays him in a game of dice and cleans him out of $5, which back in those days was a good chunk of money. Back in 1927, like $5 is nothing now, but back then it was quite a bit. So Stanley is not happy with this, and then he realises that the dice have been loaded, and he tries to get the baby slash small person baby husband to give him back the money, and he's chasing him around the room, and the wife turns up again, and she loses the head, reports him to Oliver, and yes, Stanley just can't get a break at this point. It escalates further into the couple heading off into the lobby of the ship, and they start playing cards with people, and the baby slash husband, small person, is in the pram, and he's kind of giving directions to the wife to what the other players have in their cards. She's doing a bit of money. Stanley realizes what's happening, and he comes in, he tries to help the other players, and he starts cleaning out the con artists as well. So yes, escalates even further to the point where Stanley ends up taking the baby's doll off him, and chucks it down into the engine room, and the baby jumps in after to get it because it's loaded to the teeth of its, like the back of the doll teddy bear is ripped open, and it's the hiding place for the jewels that they've stolen. And yes, the baby jumps down into the engine room as well, and comes back up one of the workers brings him back, and Stanley is with the captain at this point, and the captain does not take this well. He's like, you know, take this baby. Stanley's trying to say, you know, he has it worked out at this point, kind of worked out at this point. You know, this baby's running about with stolen jewellery, and the captain says, go take this baby, get it bathed, get it cleaned up, and then come back to me to get your neck wrung. And yes, Stanley takes the baby slash small person, husband of the con artist, and gets him into the bathroom, and you know, gets him the bath filled up, gets him stripped down to get him into the bath, and then realizes he's got chest hair like Chewbacca, and that's when the penny finally drops for Stanley. And you know, he blows the whistle on them, becomes the hero of the ship at the end of the short, and a guy actually does a collection for Stan, and he ends up with, you know, a whole load of cash at the end of it. And at this stage he's not going to work for anybody, and he kicks Oliver in the butt, storms off, goes to the captain, rips the captain's hat off, throws it on the floor. As he leaves Ollie after kicking him in the butt, the baby slash small person, husband of the con artist lady, is standing behind Ollie, and Ollie, you know, blames him for kicking him in the butt, and, you know, takes off his jacket, throws it on the floor, rolls up his sleeves, and he's going to go fight with this kid's slash small man, husband of the con artist lady. Yeah, it's I hate it that you have to say out there's easier words to describe this little person, but even little person probably isn't PC friendly these days. Ridiculous. Last shot of the film is Oliver lying across the stairs after getting his butt kicked by this baby slash small person slash husband of the, yeah, gosh, you hit PC culture. This movie's pretty good. Probably not one of their strongest, in all fairness, but it is incredibly entertaining. And for one of the shorts, you know, I used to find it difficult to get into the shorts films, but it's quite interesting. As an amateur filmmaker myself, from time to time I have done shorts in the past of my own, and it's a great educational tool to actually go back and watch these old silent comedies from the 20s, and, you know, telling a story without sound and just relying on music and performance to drive the thing. And, you know, I enjoyed it immensely for that alone.